Yeah, it's on. You know it's on.
Yeah, it's on.
You know it's on.
Yeah, it's on.
You know it's on.
You know it's on.
I don't know. We talk about all kinds of stuff. What do you want to talk about? What's going on, Neil? You talk about how pretty the new Oklahoma half Florida Goldbacks are, or half Oklahoma Goldbacks are. I love horses. I got a horse tattoo on my arm. Um, I'm a Sagittarius, so half man, half horse. No, you can't send pics. Not a bad deal. Hi, Donna. Yeah, she looks like she's been riding horses for a long time. I believe this is Alpha Series too. Got those in the mail today. We picked up a couple other things. We got a few things in the mail. I got sorry. I got this 63 Benji in the mail. Or 60, I think it is. Yeah, 60. You got this in the mail. I got this 40%er in the mail. I got this pretty lady in the mail. She's in pretty good shape still, too. Daniel, how you doing? Jeff, Neil. If I've missed anybody, please don't be upset. It just means that you snuck by and I didn't see you. Dude, what's going on? Thanks for coming by, man. How you doing? I got this 1/10. Nice. I got off work at around 7. I got this 1 grammer. And I got a bag of other silver, too. I got some 3 1 grammers in there. Just going over some stuff. I like to just talk about coins and bullshit and just chill. So, kind of an open forum here, Brandon. Pretty much talk about whatever you want. So, I got this in the mail as well. So, 2 more 1/10 ounces. They're both Aztecs. Just in the focus. There we go. And the poop emojis. And the 8 ball. Cool, Nick. Send me well, I mean, Nick, do you have my email? My email is on here. It's Todd. It's excuse me. My email is humblestacker7@gmail.com. Email me there, and we'll connect, Nick. But I had a whole gold display up recently. I changed it up. Wanted to put some silver up, show off some stuff. I got some libbies up front there. Got some privy kooks out. You know, went into the depths of the safe, broke out the old John Wick. I didn't break out Wonder Woman or anybody, but I could have. It's crazy. I live around a bunch of casinos. This is a silver round from one of the casinos around here. They gave these out to patrons. Yeah, I did. I saw it. It's pretty sick. Yeah, no, I've had this round for a long time. So I actually won this from Nash on Pure Metals before he launched. He was promoting with he was on Stacker's Corner, and they were talking about stuff, and they were talking about Pure Metals, and he was doing a givey, and he did a givey, and I won, and this is what I won. Dude, nobody can get beat like John Wick and still live except for John Wick. It was a cool win. Got my Zombuk series Panda bar or Panda round. It's called Pandemonium. 75 Zombucks this is worth. I don't doubt that at all. I had a long day. Long day. Manager on duty today. Oop. Slow her down. It's abuse. I've always liked Scottsdale's Lion. What's going on, Joey Brown? Alright, guys, hold on a second. Let me go back. Brandon, I'm making you blue. You can bounce in and out of people's channels. Check them out. Subscribe. Do all that other stuff. Everybody in my channel is badass. And Mars, what's up, buddy? So everybody in my channel is respectable and respectful. Treat them the same way. So just be nice. I'm not a big copper fan, and I got a few of these 5-ounce rounds. The Wonders of the World rounds. Like this one here. They're all colorized, right? They're all pretty badass. I've seen the Aurora Borealis, and I want to get it. And then there's the Everest right here that I got. Which is pretty sick. I like like this one. I got my pirate one too. But I got this Libby recently. Just pretty sick. Right? And then you got your Indian head, of course. Now, I'm not a big collector of copper, but these things just are starting to acquire and or accumulate. Yes, they're all copper. I know, it's crazy. They just keep accumulating, though. I'm not much into copper either. I wanted a couple of these ones because I thought they were cool, right? So it's the only time I really spent money on copper. But these ones are coming as like contingent plans, like backup wins for when I don't hit the big prize on something, on whatnot. Hold on, I got one more. And this is sick. So check this out. Look at this. I got this as well. And if you read it, no, this isn't copper. That says plata. No, if I'm not mistaken, the way the description read when I won it is it's a gold plated ounce of platinum. No, does it say platinum or silver? What does the Libby say? Let's see here. Plata is silver. So plata is an ounce of silver. So this is a gold plated ounce of silver. Yeah, new design, old design. Here. the same thing. I don't know how much plating's on it. I gotta check, but there's Plata is Plata o Pluma. It's 9:36 here in Washington State, too. Where's Bob? Bob's right here. He ain't go nowhere. He was just chilling. Yeah, copper does have a large premium. That's why I don't collect it. Plus, it's copper. Until they start mainstreaming it as a precious metal worth anything, it doesn't really matter. And plus, everybody's got copper. You can get copper anywhere. Get copper at Home Depot. But this is just a cool design. It's just a cool design. It's a pretty round. This one just being classic. Oh, that's awesome, Daniel. Yeah, the mints are doing some awesome stuff. I hope copper does get more popular. That would be cool. But it'll never go anywhere on the precious markets metal really and on any kind of real move. Now, percentage wise, it's done rather well. The thing about copper is you have to understand that it's a small amount, but you don't play off of amounts with copper. You have to play off of percentages. So copper's moved like 90% or some shit. So it's up like 90%, but it's so minuscule that nobody really pays it much money. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Is it's something you can pick up for $10, and at one point it'll be like if precious metals came down to it and precious metals were used as things, the your copper round would essentially be your penny or your dollar or whatever you want to consider it, the lower denomination of money, but still valid and effective because there's so much of it. It would be the perfect. It'd be like pennies, you know, same same concept. Sorry about the shaky. A copper maple? Oh, that'd be sick. I'd look at a copper maple. Not that I'd say I would buy it, but if I won it or it ended up being sent to me from West Texas, I sent him around from Texas Metals, and he sent me back this one. It's funny, the one that I sent him had a white tail on it, and he sent me one back with a buck on it too. It's pretty cool. Oh, I'm sure it is, Curtis. You rock, man. I appreciate you. You know I do. You guys, I just started going live a whole lot more. So, yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. Is it 16 point? Let's look. But hitting that like button helps out a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know, man. I see at least 10 to 12 points. Chase Amigos raid. You see 11. I'm just saying that at least I'm thinking that this one in the middle right here has got to be doubled up at one point. Probably. It does look like an elk, right? But I mean, they make their buck elks too, so it just says silver buck. Looks like an elk. That rack is huge. Hi, Harley. Silver Scientist, what's up? Hold on a second here. I got a Silver Scientist for sure. Connie coins. Let's go. Harley. What's going on, everybody? We're just chilling, bullshitting, talking about metals, showing off some stuff that I won recently. I'm just chilling. What are you guys up to? What is everybody up to tonight? Just chilling. Ah, you're welcome, silver scientist. That's good. That's what I'm doing too. I'm just chilling. Bunch of people pop by. Well, I wouldn't say a bunch, but I got my faithfuls here. We're just chilling, talking metals, hanging out. You guys see silvers at fucking $42 an ounce? 42.41. That's insane. $42.41 for silver right now. That's nuts. I know. That's the thing. I don't fall for the FOMO. I just stack. Now Bob is chilling. Every week I buy. As a matter of fact, I opened up 3 packages today. I got Morgans and more half dollars in the mail that are on their way. Ounces of silver. I'm winning ASEs. And I'm paying under premium for everything. I'm paying under spot for everything. So, how can you not be happy? You know what I'm saying? Like when you take this home for $25 total in a guy's room and you walk home with a 2025 MS70 Eagle. That's a W. $63 in another guy's room. This one was just them here yet, but I have a 500 sub GOG coming up. So it's funny that you bring it up. So I hit 500. I think I'm at 511 right now. I'm setting it up here soon. I've got a bunch of people that have donated some stuff for it, and I have to get a paycheck under my belt so I can buy a couple of bags of pay dirt, so I can get a couple of extra bags of pay dirt from these guys, and then I'll be ready to go. I've got a bunch of people that have offered up stuff. No, you know what? Those games, Kanye, those games fuel my other games that I play on Whatnot or sell on Whatnot. So I sell on Whatnot and I use the stuff that I win, like this stuff, gram of silver, the fractional tenths. These things. I use those things in my own games on Whatnot. But you can't tell me that getting this, which I got on Whatnot, getting this 1986, first year of issue, proof, ASE. Played in a guy's room, didn't hit on the first runs. I think I spent like $45. He had a secondary run, and I won on the secondary pop, and this is what I got. I want to send this in for grading because I can guarantee you it's never left this box. So I'm up on the games. It depends on how you play and when you play. I run a game, so I know when a wheel's gonna pop. I've called it multiple times in a room that it's gonna hit next because it's just a matter of when it's gonna happen. And if you've played the game and you've ran a game, then you know how the wheel works. And if for it to go to the very end is very unusual. Oh yeah, man. Now see, there are channels that have guys that are playing at like the $400 and $500 and $600 range, and I saw a guy buy, and it had like 5 graded coins in it. It had 5 graded coins in it, and it was sealed, and it had 5 redbacks, which are these, which are the highest, one of the highest hits you can get when it comes to levels and grades, right? It's like this MS70 2025 $5 Eagle. When you run this number on NGC, it comes back at $500 value for an Eagle. So it had 5 of these in there. Boom, 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 boom. One of them was like an 1880 MS64 Morgan, which was an insanely huge hit. It was a super nice coin, right? But that coin values at like, I forget what the blue on that, or the book on that was, but it was just a whole bunch like that, And then there was guys who got 5 of these at the same level, which is nowhere near the value of that. Would just get 5 white back ones, and it wasn't worth it. That's the gamble there. I don't play in rooms like that. I don't do that. I play in rooms like I play, or like I run. I do auctions too, and I buy in auctions as well. But Cartier Silver is getting ready to start pouring again. Can't wait for him to start pouring more metal. He knows I got a standing order for a bunch of stuff, so the minute he starts, he's just gonna start pouring stuff for me. It's awesome. And who knows, that thing ended up might going to him. That one won't. I'll keep that one. I like that one. That one might end up going to him as a 5 ounce hunker that I need to send him for copper. I got a bunch of copper lying around, like just stacks of it. Now there's a silver. What? Oh, I don't know why. Somehow I got my silver coin in there. Oh yes, he is. What's up, Curtis? Curtis there. He's donating an ounce of silver for my giveaway as a prize. So thank you, Curtis. Curtis is the man. You guys, if you're not following him, you need to make sure you follow him. He pans for gold. We're going to be panning your dirt on Sunday, Curtis. Me and Skylar probably. Try to do email. It says enter a valid email. I am not sure how to do this. I am computer illiterate. It's just the humble stacker7 at gmail.com. So when you go to create mail, you put my email address in there. You got to put at gmail.com and it should pull up my logo. You're 11 away from 350. You guys make sure you're over there liking and following him. Can somebody post Chasing Cheddar's information in the chat, please? Neil, what do you think you overpaid for? What did you buy? Okay, Nick, no problem. Well, where did you buy from, Neil? Okay, and what did you buy? There we go. Thank you, Harley. You rock. Harley Babe with the clutch hit right over the fucking wall. Thank you, Harley. Wakambi. So if you think about it, you bought 20 ounces, single bars or 10-ounce bars? Yeah, cool. Thank you, Cheddar. Curtis, make sure you hit that like button, please, you guys. It's gonna help out a lot. I just started going live a whole lot more, and I want to start doing it. 20-ounce, just one 20-ounce bar, or what? It's just an odd size. A $2 per ounce premium is a little high, but I wouldn't imagine that. I'm sure it says how much over spot you're paying per premium. I mean, all those big guys do, like JM and everybody else. They tell you you're paying this much over, over spot, and it says per ounce, right? So if you think about it, 43.50, spot is 41.25. You're paying 225, and if depending on if that fee comes with your credit card or not, or if you paid an extra fee because of it. Silver is moving fast, but please, you guys understand, do not get in a FOMO situation. That is how we get in trouble. We don't want to do that. Okay? You don't want to buy silver one week and have to sell it the next. That defeats the whole purpose of doing it. So, buy responsibly, buy on a schedule, and it helps with your dollar cost averaging. Now listen, it has been on the rise. It's going to go up, but it's going to go down. It's still nowhere near 50. Okay? 50 in the 80s was from the Hunt brothers. That's right. You build it up slowly. I didn't say not to buy. What I'm trying to say is you don't want to go and invest more than you have into silver. Because listen, all right, I'm a stacker, right? I stack. I add weight all the time. Okay, I sell on whatnot. I use the extra money that I make on whatnot to add to my stack. So that's how I add to my stack. All right. Do I spend all of every dollar I make on silver or all the money I have all at once in one pop? No, you don't do that. You gotta do it slowly. I've had much LSD too. I have a really badass LCS. Yeah, silver's not. I mean, like I don't put my money into silver because I expect it to go up. I put my money in silver because I expect it to hold its value. The only short-term silver sales is for you to buy from U.S. Mint and flip something fast. This is the only way. Diversity. They talk about serious short squeeze. Understand that that's not going to happen until people call in the numbers. And still, there is a lot of silver. There is a lot of silver. Every time I go into my LCS, he's got rows and rows and rows and shelves of silver and bags of silver just piled up in every corner of his store. Okay. $500 on a box. What are you talking about, Daniel? Listen, I like Andy Scheckman. I do. And I like Silver Surfer or Stacking Surfer. And I know and I believe everything they're saying about the way it's being traded and the way that they falsify the numbers. I understand. They've been doing it for a long time. I get that. And JP Morgan does have a monopoly on silver. I get that as well. And I understand that. And that could be the reason why it's going up right now. But do keep in mind how much money I have to spend on it at the time when I'm buying it. Because it's for 20 years from now. It's not for tomorrow. It's not for a year from now. It's for 20 years from now. So all that matters right now with the price of silver that affects me in any way is how much I can buy when I'm buying it. Well, you know those new EV batteries, and that's fine because that means all of us stackers, if it does hit like that and there ends up being a short squeeze, we're all going to be well more ahead than everybody else. I mean, they say if you have an ounce of silver, you have more silver in your house than what, like more than 95% of households in the U.S. So think about people who just have ounces, right? This case right here, the wooden case right there, that has 4 5-ounce Norman Rockwell baseball commemorative rounds in there. They're collectors from 1981. What's up, avocado? Night, silver scientist. Yeah, I don't doubt that. And that's awesome. But like I said, the only thing that I can tell you with silver right now is it just depends on how much I can buy at the time when I'm buying it. And it'll make the value of something like this 62 piece or this 63 Morgan or this special ASC that books at $150 for some reason. It'll make those go up so much higher in value. I don't know. I kind of like the red one better. Which one do you guys like better? Yeah, see, that's the thing with silver, and that's why you dollar cost average. The thing about it is people that are rushing into buying right now and going all in are the same people that did it in 81 when it was at a super high, and they've been sitting on it for 45 years waiting for it to get back to that super high. Curtis, you going to bed? That's a really good DCA right now, avocado. My DCA is probably in the my DCA is probably closer to 20. I'd say closer to low 29s right now. And Neil, that's fine. 35 is a great average right now, especially since it's sitting at almost 42. But do keep in mind, if it drops below 40, a lot of people would be sweating because there's people that are going all in right now at 40 and almost 42. And keep in mind, these are unprecedented times that we're in. It doesn't happen like this often. When it happened with the Hunt brothers, it happened and spiked fast and then dropped like insanely bad afterwards. Yeah, $35 is great. Well, I have both. I have the silver shot for sure, and Cartier is pouring me some more silver bullets. I stack what I can where I can. It don't matter what it is. I'll stack it if it's worth the value that of what I'm looking for. Well, see, you got your holdouts and you got the people that are going to regret and they're going to start selling when it starts dipping. because that's what they're going to do. They're going to ride it as high as they can, and the minute it starts falling, then they're going to start selling. And then the price is going to drop and drop and drop and drop and drop because it's going to get flooded with the market. And then when it hits its low, that's when I'm going to start buying again. Lower my DCA really low. And then it's going to jump up and level out. I don't know if I see, that's the whole thing. That's the reason why we stack though, avocado. And I love my silver too, though. I do. I love my silver also, but that's the reason why we stack is to get to the gold. Ask any stacker out there, what's your GSR when you sell? What's your optimal GSR? What's it got to get to before you throw your wad? Because every silver stacker out there is waiting to get to the point where they can unload their silver and buy gold, man. That's the whole purpose, isn't it? I love my silver too, and I'll always have silver. But when it gets to a certain point, if the GSR gets to what like it should be at, I'm selling like a mo. A large bar of lead, that sucks. Lead melts at 350. Make your own bullets. That's how people used to do it. Well, that's true. That's true. That's why I'll always have silver. Because silver is for the smaller negotiation and gold is for the bigger shit. You know, you throw a gold coin at somebody, it's because you want to buy something bigger. You barter with your fractionals. Aluminum at 700. That'd be nuts. That would be crazy. There would be people breaking into my work and trying to steal all the wheels. Aluminum. Aluminum. Well, see, that's the thing with copper is it will be the lesser of the value of the metals, right? And the one that's more that there's a lot of because there's a lot of copper out there. There's a lot of copper out there. Those aren't for me. Somebody else poured those. And I don't know if they used cans or not. And aluminum cans aren't really all aluminum, anyways. There's like tin and other stuff in them. I know you see people melt them and say they're aluminum because it will melt, but you need to get like an aluminum wheel or aluminum stock, which you can go to a metal company and buy. You probably get aluminum stock at a Home Depot if you want. And when I say aluminum stock, it's just a sheet of aluminum. Melt that down, and then you're getting actual really good aluminum. Jason E. Miner, what's going on, man? I didn't see you pop in here. How you doing, brother? Yes, 999 fine aluminum, Neil. Need a Tesla coil in March? You stood beside a crucible of molten aluminum working at MGM Brakes for. Oh, that'd be pretty cool for Peterbilts and Volvo. Yeah, we're just chilling and bullshitting. I hit over 500 subs. We wanted to get some watch hours in and hang out. See if some people would come by and chill. You want to see the kooks now? It's the 35th anniversary kook with the privy. That's the Kookaburra privy. You know, and you got George on the back. Or Charles, excuse me. And then the other one over here. Hold on a second. Bob is chilling against him. Let's change Bob's position. There we go. I think this is a 2016. Yeah. 2016 without the privy. See, that's the thing about the kookaburras. So keep in mind, when you collect those rounds, they're not just rounds. I mean, they're sovereign coins, but they're bullion, right? So when you collect those, you've got one that's got the privy and one that doesn't. So you got two different versions of the same collection. And those coins are really sought out some of those years. I know 2016 people are run after that one too. Oh, thanks, man. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing some stuff though. So I got Creed is throwing up a pay dirt, a .25 pay dirt. AAA sent down a swag pack. Um, let's see. Curtis is throwing in an ounce round, silver round for the Gibby. I'm doing my humble stacker bar, so somebody's getting an ounce and a half of silver humble stacker 500 subscriber bar poured by FG Stacker. It's over here in its case, but it looks like this. I'm going to be giving away this Morgan Shepard or a Morgan. I'm not exactly sure which one. I'm going to try to find the nicest raw one I have and give it up. Yes, not for stackers, Neil. Those are for collectors. These are for collectors, man. This is something that somebody starts collecting and going after. You don't buy this to stack. You buy something like this, bro. Oh, sorry. This you can buy for just bullion price. You know, an ounce of silver. That one, this one, just an ounce of silver. That's what you buy it for. You buy silver at the lowest cost you can. that's pure, just an ounce brown, or a 5 ounce bar, or a 10 ounce bar. But keep in mind, you want to buy reputable brands, but some brands have a really high premium. So the premium is really what will get you as a stacker more than anything else are the premiums. So what you need is you need a bulk weight stack, as in a base stack, and then you build from there. Yeah, see, Neil, that's a lot. And I like Eagle Hearts, right? Like, look, this is my pocket silver. These are the 2 rounds I carry in my pocket at all times. These two, okay? This 85 Engelhart round. Now, people would kill me for just carrying around with this in my pocket. If keep in mind, an Engelhart carries a high premium, is all I'm saying. So when you sell it, you won't just get spot price for just a standard round of silver. You'll get more for that Engelhart because it's an Engelhart. And that's what I was getting on about silver bars and silver rounds, is the premium is what you have to worry about. That's just a high premium. $49 is like $6 over, but you would have paid that for this right here. This 5 gram bar, because it's a Geiger bar, the premium on it is insane. I can sell this for $20. It's only a 5 gram bar. Who in their right mind would pay $20 for this as a stacker? Nobody. Not any stacker. You avoid something like this. This is what you get when you want to mix it up and say, "Hey, I've got a pretty nice Geiger bar. Check it out." These Geigers they all have serial numbers on them. That's a very attractive feature for the Geiger bars. But somebody would pay $20 for that. I wouldn't. I think that's a little expensive. That's cool, Daniel. I have a Walking Liberty 50-cent piece ring. So there's her head, and you can see where it says Liberty. Over here it says 1946, and on the inside it says United States of America and In God We Trust. I wear it every day on my middle finger. Yeah, see, the Geiger's pretty. But yeah, these Geigers are sick. Come on, there we go. They're very attractive bars, but that's why they're so expensive, because people like them and they pay more for them than they should. So that's expected from people. When they sell them, they expect to get that much money for them. Yes, I remember when people bought cheap gold and it made their finger green because it was just plated. What's the problem when it comes time to sell them? Oh, right on, Daniel. See, that's the thing. If we get to a shit hits the fan situation, which we could, but, you know, if we get to that situation, you can't eat silver and you can't eat gold. So that's why I stack brass also. Because you got to be able to use it to buy stuff. So that's why you got the fractional. That's why you have the small constitutional, the dimes, the quarters, the 50-cent pieces, the dollars. That's why you have the ounces of silver. That's why you have the smaller fractional gold, per se, like the 1/10 ounce, right? That's why you have this. You're buying 69-cent cans of beans from Aldi. You can't teach a man to fish, and that's the best way to do it. I know how to fish. I know how to hunt. I have bass, is what I meant. So I know how to hunt. I know how to fish. I know how to stack. Negotiating a quarter ounce of gold is easier than negotiating a 1 ounce piece of gold. So if your whole goal is to have all 1 ounces, you're silly. You need fractional. You need smaller gold too. So keep in mind, if you're a stacker, you're going to be doing a whole lot better than the guy who's got all of his money in Bitcoin or the guy who's got all of his money in real estate or in the stock market. Because if the light, if the switch gets flipped in that situation, they have nothing and we have everything. And keep in mind, if you're a prepper, make sure you're not being a prepper for the tougher guy on the corner because that's what the situation would end up being in that case. So protect yourselves. I don't know. Oh, for sure, bro. For sure. So listen, it even okay. So what was it? Silver Heist. Silver Heist did it right. He did the math on it. Okay, you can save up for that 1 ounce coin. Save up, save up, save up, save up, save up for that 1 ounce coin. Or you can buy a 1/10 ounce coin once a month for 10 months. Okay, at the end, you might pay just a little more, but you already have that 1 ounce coin, opposed to somebody who's holding and holding and holding, waiting to get to there. Okay, so then let's say you get to 2,900. All right, you're at 2,900. You are $600, $700 away. You're so close, so close, right? Next thing you know, you'll blow a tire. Now you're gonna spend $1,000 on tires. So you spend $1,000 on tires. Okay, which puts you back, which is cool. I get it, right? Puts you back, puts you back, right? Next thing you know, boom, transmission's got problems. There's another $700. Or, your power bill's higher than it should be. There's an extra $150, or whatever the case might be. Life takes over, and life sucks, right? So if you buy 10 of these, you have an ounce. $370 is more affordable than 3,600 at one time. And loading up a bunch of gold in your pocket is easier than loading up 3 safes of silver, like Daniel just said. That's right. So that's why we're all trying to get to this, anyways. We all want to get to the ultimate shiny. So everybody's got a GSR that's in their mind. When it gets to a certain point, they would sell. I like Constitutional. I'm working on a guard box of dimes and a guard box of quarters. I love Constitutional. I do. But it is boring. But stacking is boring. If so, listen, you're stacking. You stack a 10 ounce bar once a month. Let's say you stack 10 ounces a month. Okay, that's high for some people, but let's just say you do 10 ounces a month. What do you do with it? You put it in the safe. Okay, you put it in the safe. Close the door. You lock it. Next month, you open it up. You put a 10 ounce bar in there. You close the door. Put it in your safe. You lock it. Okay, it's a 10 ounce bar. You're stacking your base weight. Okay, so then you get bored. You get bored. And then you start a collection and you want to do something like this. Next thing you know, you've got 29 of 35, right? The other six are the most hardest to get, and the premiums on them are extreme. So you're spending $140 on an ounce of silver. Is that something that any stacker should be doing? $140 for an ounce of silver? That is insane. Who in the right mind is going to do something like that? A collector. A collector will do something like that because they're trying to finish off their collection, and if the coin is worth it, they'll spend it. So then you turn into a stacker to a stack collector, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to turn your stack into whatever you want to stack it into. Okay, but keep in mind when you become a collector, your premiums kind of go up a little higher, right? Because then, as a collector, You start shooting for other things. Like you want to start shooting for 62 Morgans, MS62 Morgans. You want a toned one, right? So you look for this one and you find it. It's an 1883 O Morgan MS62 Super Toner, right? You're like, fuck yeah, I want that. I want it right now. Okay? Who in the right mind would spend more than $40 for a Morgan, which is about the average cost for a Morgan? Somebody who wants this, who's going to spend $180 on it, right? Okay, because something is only worth what somebody will pay for it. So I have this price at $180. One guy walks away from it. You want it so bad, you pay for it because you're bored. You become a collector. There's nothing wrong with that, but the premiums are higher. So it's really just what's more important to you. First things first, any stacker will tell you to make your base stack first. Get your base stack. Your blank bars, your blank rounds, your tubes of rounds. Get your base stack, whatever number you want that to be. Whether it be 200 ounces, whether it be 500 ounces, whether it be 50 ounces. Now, I can tell you 50 ounces is a light base stack, but it is a stack, right? Because it's more than most people have. So if you build, and don't get intimidated because you're stacking to you. You're stacking to what you can stack, okay? Don't get intimidated by anybody else's stack. When you're sitting there and you're listening to somebody else and you get envious of their stack, that is not what you need to do because you're in a different spot in your life than they are. You stack what you can, where you can, and what you can afford. You don't break the bank, but you put something away as often as you can. Okay? You just put something away as often as you can, whether it be an ounce a week. Doesn't have to be anything special. Could be something like this stupid Christmas round. Okay? But it's an ounce of silver, right? So you put this away once a week. You put this away once a month. At the end of the year, you've got 12 ounces of silver that you didn't have before. 12 ounces of silver right now, that's almost $500. You can find them, man. You can find them. Problem is, you got to go to like JM Bullion or someplace like that. JM Bullion right now has, or SD Bullion, all of these places have a beginner stacker pack. Like if you go to Silver Bull right now, I believe the deal is still on right now. If you go to Silver Gold Bull right now, they have a 10-ounce bar that you can buy at spot. A3, bro. I appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. Yeah, they could be. They could be going for that much. Dude, the last 10-ounce bar I bought from him, he charged me like 5 cents over spot. Oh, no, 50 cents over spot. The spot was $3.65. I paid $3.70 for the bar. Oh, and Marsh, I appreciate you and your words. So if you have an LCS close to you, build a relationship. If you don't, then you're stuck with the online bullion dealerships and there's nothing wrong with that because you're still getting quality metals from a reputable source. The thing about it is you have to wait for their stacker packs to come through, or you have to wait for the best price on, this much over spot per ounce. Like wait for their special to come through when you get this on sale for 25 cents over spot per ounce, whatever it may be. You can. So like my LCS, when I call him, he picks up the phone and he says, "Hey, Linwood Coin and Market, this is Devin. How can I help you?" I say, "Hey, Devin, it's Todd." He goes, "Hey, Todd, what you looking for?" And I tell him, and he goes, "Okay, I'll have it set aside for you." Like, I'll walk in the door. I can be like, hey, dude, I want 10 ounces of silver. You know what I like, pick me out. What you know what I like, pick me out something. I'll walk in the door. I told him I wanted 30 ounces of silver. He gave me this box that has 4 5-ounce rounds of collector Norman Rockwell art bars or art rounds. He sold me those at spot. He sold me another 2 5-ounce bars at spot. Okay, all sealed, all nice stuff. I walk in the door. He knows what I want. He sets it aside for me. Last gram of gold I bought from him for a game on Whatnot. Online dealers were asking 142 a gram. I walked in the door. He goes, "What do you need?" I said, "I want a gram of gold." He goes, "Okay, here, take this one. You can have this Geiger gram of gold." So one of these gram size in gold, which you already know the premium on them is insane for any Geiger bar. I walked out the door for 120 bucks for a 1 gram gold Geiger bar, which is insane because you won't find that anywhere. So if you can build a relationship with an LCS, do it. Your LCS guy will be just as nice as you are to him. You just don't visit him enough. I'm sure you were visiting him more when silver was $35 an ounce. Even if you're not buying and you walk by, just hang out, check stuff out, say hey, let them see your face. That's the whole thing, and talk to them for a minute. Whether it be, hey, how's your day going? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Any kind of conversation helps crack the ice. You just really got to get a relationship going. But he's super cool. He's super cool. His name's Devin. He's the owner. I walk in the door. He knows who I am. I call on the phone. I tell him who I am. He knows what I want. That's the kind of relationship you want to try to get a hold of, if you can. Bake some weights out of that. I have a few West Points. I have a few West Points that I just actually picked up recently. I got this one. I paid $44 in this guy's channel. I got this and that. 1971 Silver Ike. And that for 44 bucks. Not a bad price. And then I got this one. I don't know about you guys. Do you like type 1 better or type 2? Which are you a fan of? Yeah, the same Icon 72 in the same case. That's awesome. I got this one too. The stand you got? No, I didn't. What's up, AAA? Or AAA Rockhound? Good old AJ. Make sure you guys are following him. He's a pretty good dude. He puts up some pretty good videos. He's a gem and rockhound. Does rocks, does gold. He's been putting up a lot of videos about whatnot purchases recently. Um, he actually brags about the piece he got off of my channel. He won a Philharmonic. I think. What'd you spend? $12 on your spin, bro? Last spin of the night, got it. Hit last envelope. Spent $12. I think it was something like that. Got himself a 1 ounce Philharmonic in my room. Yeah, I saw part two. I saw, and you mentioned it both times as well. That's awesome. He mentions the round in both of his videos. He actually says that he brings it to his rock shows with him, which is awesome. He also said that that's one that he'll never get rid of, which is even cooler. So I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, he was talking about it on his video. He just happened to pick it up for $12. It was pretty cool. He just got it at a really good price. Came in at the right time. So like the deals are there on whatnot. You just got to know when to jump in. He just jumped in at the right time. You have a lot of what? Standing half has a bullet mark. What's standing half? Oh, who's standing half? The standing half that you bought? Did you get something from me that has a bullet mark? Daniel, what are we talking about? Oh, from PDX. That's funny. Oh shit. Shit. I probably won't have another show on whatnot until Sunday. Probably gonna be putting up some silver. Not sure what I'm gonna put up yet, but I'm gonna put up some silver. I'm gonna be paying for some gold on Sunday with the old daughter. will be on. Pan and a bag of pay dirt from Curtis. And I'll be setting up my 500 sub givey here soon. Daniel, you can send me pictures of your collection as much as you want, man. Just send it to my email. What 10th ounce what? Gold? I just sold one the other day on one of my shows. I think the guy spent $45 and he got a 1/10 ounce of gold. Silver? I got some of those lying around. Oh, you can get the gold too. Gold's easy. Just go to your LCS or go buy it online. You can get it online at a dealership too, or a dealer. You can actually just go on to Whatnot and hop in a show and find some too. People sell these on auctions all the time, you guys. They do run you a little more, but you know what? You're still stacking. So if I'm buying silver, I'm not buying tenths. I'm buying ounces. Okay, but if tenths are where you have to start, then buy constitutional. Don't buy fractional silver. Buy constitutional if you can't buy ounces. Buy dimes or quarters. Mercs are good too. You can buy mercs, but keep in mind sometimes you don't you pay a little more for a merc depending on who you're buying it from. But your LCS, if your LCS is like mine, he's got a whole box of just dimes that you can pick and choose from. See, I'm not prepping like that. If I need fractional, I'm just using my constitutional. And if I'm dealing with the wrong person, money won't even be an option. Unfortunately, in those situations, so I'm not talking about something a whole lot different, on a whole different level. I wouldn't be. See, that's not me, but every stacker is different. If you want to stack 1/10, you can, but you're paying a lot more for an ounce of silver than just an ounce of silver when you can get fractional for a lot less. I'll be right back, you guys. I'm gonna get a bottle of water. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Much better. Throat was getting dry. What about gold? Forget about it. What are we talking about? I'm not worried about people coming to look for me. So that's the whole thing is they won't be looking for me. People don't know where I'm located. And plus, if they did find my house and did find me, they wouldn't find my stack. They would only find what I keep at my house, which, in the overall aspect of things, isn't really worth coming and getting. Not worth risking your life over in those types of situations. Yeah, I get it. So whenever I do anything like that, if I did something like that in those situations, I've already got a plan of how I would end up doing it. And you only carry what you need to bring or what you're going to use to buy or what you're willing to lose. And also, I always would be packing in any situation, rifle and sidearm. I always have a knife on me, even today. So, I mean, I do everything I can to protect myself. I would be all right. Find pain, sorrow, and buzzards eating me. Pack and heat. Well, you know what? You have to be able to protect yourself and your stack. I'm not stacking for the strongest guy on the corner. Gentlemen, I am the strongest guy on the corner. Hey, I'm just saying. You remember what Tom Cruise did in War of the Worlds when the guy started making a bunch of noise and he was worried about his daughter dying? He says, I can't let you get them in here. They can't come in here. And then he closed the door and told his daughter not to come in no matter what she heard. And then he took the dude out. Yeah, that'll be me, bro. If it comes down to you or me, I love you to death. But if you can't work with me, we're going to have a problem. If it came to those situations. Now, I'm not saying it would ever will. But if it ever did, yeah, the Scientologist. Look, Scientology or not, he's a hell of an actor. Yeah, think about it. John Travolta is a Scientologist too, and he's a hell of an actor also. No, I don't sleep with the gun. I don't need to. Guns for if I had to use it. No, trust me. I have baseball bats and other things around. I know how to do what I need to do. Yeah, in that movie, they were using our blood for something, but then they just died. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That was a good line in that movie. Well, I don't even need to have it hidden. I've got a baseball bat next to my front door. I got a baseball bat at the top of my stairs. So I have that in those two locations right away. I always have a pocket knife on me. I have more than one gun. Um, Location non-disclosed. Yeah, I'm sure it was something, whether it be something in our blood that they couldn't harvest what they were trying to harvest with properly. But whatever it was, I forget what the did the book actually even explain it? I don't think so. Well, you don't have to throw the knife, but having the knife next to you, just having a knife in general is good. It's good that he's got something next to him at all. You have a bat for Tom too? I think the biggest thing is just being prepared for when something does happen, if something does happen. I mean, you should always be able to defend yourselves no matter what. Oh, see that? Nick's a fucking ninja. Don't be fucking around. Nick is a ninja. He will stick it in if you fucking throws it. You hear that shit? Don't fuck around. Nick's like, no, fucking trust me, bitch. I'm fucking hitting shit if I throw this knife. Someone's fucking getting stuck. Vampires do need a stake to the heart. Now, silver doesn't hurt vampires like the movies say it does, so keep that in mind. Now, if you think about Lost Boys, you know, you throw one in a bath full of holy water, which is badass, and he just starts cooking and melting like a like a freak. He is a ninja. If he's throwing a throwing knife and he's sticking it whatever he's throwing it at, he's been practicing. He's a ninja. Trust me. Saint Nick is a ninja. I guarantee it. Don't fuck with him. They call him the Magic Man. Now you see me, now you don't. Fucking shake and bake. Nunchucks. Who are you, Michelangelo? That'll give you time to reach your gun. That's all you need. Distraction. If he's dodging, then you have time to grab and shoot. Give me nunchucks. Yeah, Ninja Turtle. It's funny watching people use nunchucks. Ninja stars. That's cool. Because actually, they fly good and they stick. You just gotta know how to throw them. I've thrown quite a few things. Now, I don't know if I would be throwing ninja stars, but to each their own. And they do fly good and they do stick. I don't know if I could hit somebody effectively enough to where it would stop them in the sense that pulling my 40 out and shooting them in the chest would, but I commend you for giving it that effort. See, ninja stars are for when you need a silent death, and in those cases, I want it to be loud and messy because I want somebody to know. Don't come over here and fuck around. Next person comes in the door is going to get the same thing the last guy got. Yeah, catching a ninja star in the face, I'm sure would fucking do some damage. No, a ninja star to the face would probably not be enjoyable then, Marsh. Probably not at all. Probably not at all. And to be honest with you, you'd probably hit whoever it was you were throwing at because honestly, who is going to be getting a ninja star thrown at them or be thinking, oh my God, this guy's throwing ninja stars at me. I need to dodge. Nobody's going to think that. So, yeah, he's going to take one or two of them. A .999 star to your face. Who would want a .999 star to your face? That would suck. That'd be cool though. I'd be like, dude, I just got hit by a silver star. It was sick. It took out my left eye, but it was badass. Yeah, I would go get it after I threw it too. Put it back in my stack. Bishop, I didn't see you in camouflage class. I said, thank you, Sarge. Still stack into the face. That's right, Ed Marsh. Still stack into the face. Get killed by a kookaburra. That would be a harsh death. Can you imagine one of these guys pecking the shit out of you? Yeah, that would be pretty vicious. Man killed by kookaburra. Won this in a game. Kangaroos can be pretty mean. If a kangaroo turns around to square up on you, you better fucking turn around and run because he's in attack mode. And kangaroos are strong, you guys. They're fucking strong. They will jump up and kick you, and they fucking do damage. I've seen kangaroos attack people on videos. It's pretty crazy. About the gouge that he has. that his bird did to him. What? Nick, if your bird is tearing you up, bro, get rid of the damn bird. I love you, man, but the bird's not worth it. No, you do not win an argument with a kangaroo. I guarantee it. Kangaroo will kick the shit out of you. Literally kick the shit out of you. They don't fuck around. And they're strong, you guys. They box. Like, you've seen kangaroos fight, haven't you? I would not want a kangaroo to square up on me. And I'm not, like, I don't back down from much. Like, you know, there's not much that I'm challenged with that I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, I'm not going there. But a kangaroo squaring up on you? Shit. I'm gone. You just go crazy. Turn into crazy eyes, do you? And take your silver afterwards. Yeah, give me those purse. That's right. I know you got some ruse on you. Better give me that shit. The guy ran up and started punching the kangaroo. Dude, Nick, lose the bird. You're lucky it was your nose, not your eyebrow. You're lucky it was your nose, not your eye. Pull a page out of Shelton Cooper's book and be afraid of birds. Bird is a badass, but it's not the bad. That's the wrong badass bird that you want because that bird attacked you. So its badassness is directed in the wrong place. Nick, don't make excuses. You sound like an abused wife. He didn't mean to do it this time. He'll be better, I promise. Yeah, I'm sure you guys kissed and made up. Look, Nick, dude, he took a chunk out your nose, bro. He could have took your eye. You have a support bird. Listen, there's no bird that is quiet enough to be a support bird except for an owl. And owls are vicious. And he only hoots because he's trying to fucking get stuff to scurry around so he can look for it to hunt. He's an old man parrot. With a bird. He tells you he loves you every day. That's cool, Nick. He better. Sounds just like the abusive husband, though. And you still sound like the abused wife. He tells me he loves me every day now. Your parent looks at silver with you. That's cool. The bird's not the word. The bird is the word when we're in T-Bird's channel. Where is T-Bird? Is he here? T-Bird, are you in the house? Calling T-Bird? Yeah, where is T-Bird? I'm surprised he's not the after hours guy, honestly. I've been on the last few days, I get it, but normally he has that crown. He's getting lit by the fire pit. Is he on right now? I don't know, Neil. What's the IDFK for, N Marsh? If he's on or not? I was just curious. Because if T-Bird's on and I still have 12 people in my room, that's pretty awesome, is all I was going to get at. I did mention birds. And I got two of Donna's favorite bears here. I've got a koala bear that I'm not quite sure if it classifies as a bear, but it is a bear. Koala bear. Donna loves koalas, she said. And I've got your panda here. He's in a little rougher shape though, because he's all zombified. But I got the panda here too. Bam. Bearing it up for Donna. Yes, Bob is comfy with the Kennedy there. He's chilling. Got himself that Kennedy proof, just rocking. It's a silver proof, just to show you. Silver proof. Bob's just chilling like a villain, because that's what Bob does. Bam, baby. A gold-plated Libertad is what that said it was, now that I looked back at it. Gold-plated Libertad. Would have been cool if it was the old design, though. I like the old design better than the new one. This one. Just a real traditional look to it with the older design. Now I like how they kept the lady with the wings. But the new design just isn't quite the same. Who's a useless old man and discarded? Who, Bob? Bob's not an old man. He's only like 10. In however many years he has, which is like 900 million of our life years. So Bob's just chilling like a villain. He's just chilling. Yes, we would. Daniel, when I had my aneurysm, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I am an O positive blood type. I learned that my blood type is the second most universal. So if I was on the field of battle, they would have me lay down and straight vein me right into somebody else. I am a registered lifesaver. So anytime I can help save a life, I will. And I feel you right there, brother. I commend you for what you just said. Thank you, Daniel. Takes a certain type of person to be able to say that and do it. So you have my respect, my friend. You got my respect anyways, but you guys got it even more now, brother. Got it even more now. Whoa. Look out. Man, earthquake happened. I love the artwork on these pandas. I appreciate that, Daniel. You rock, bro. Thanks for that, bro. I appreciate that, Neil. Right? That's sick, isn't it? China. Emotional damage. I don't know about China. Now, one coin, though, I'll be honest with you. The Brits did it right, man. With all their security features on their coins and stuff. I mean, they did it right when they did it. And I love the Britannia. It is a good looking coin. Yeah. I love the Britannia too. It's just a good looking coin. It really, really is. And then you've got your classics. I gotta charge. Give me a second. I gotta plug my phone in or I'm gonna die. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Going live just crushes your battery. I was charging. I had 90% before I started. We've been on for 2 hours and 13 minutes, and I'm at 15%. I have some 1 ounce silver Britannias as well, but when I'm collecting sovereign 1 ounce rounds, I collect ASEs more than anything else. Even though I do have I have a 2 ounce maple. I have some Krugerrands. I have kangaroos. I've got I got a Philharmonic. I mean, I've got some other rounds as well. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I collect more ASEs when it comes to sovereign rounds than anything. And I like my traditional gold. And to think, you guys, somebody was walking around with something like this in their pocket and they used it to buy something. What do you mean, just so you know what they look like? What are you talking about, Neil? You don't know what a Philharmonic looks like? If you want, I'll grab one. I'll show you. Sandy, what's going on? Let me get you blued up. Give me a second here. How are you doing? Oh, okay, good. You know, and Marsh, at the end of the day, it's still an ounce of silver sitting on a bus on your way to work. But hey, it's Friday. No, I hear you, man. I work tomorrow too. But hey, your day's already started. I work tomorrow still. So I got to sleep still and then go to work. So your week will be over that much faster than mine, brother. Kudos to you. Prior practice makes perfect performance. I can tell you that speed comes from repetition and perfection comes from doing the same thing perfect over and over and over again. But can you do the same thing perfect over and over and over again? Yes, to an extent, but not to its fullest, in my opinion. No, I get it. It might not be your favorite looking coin, and it's probably not one of my favorite looking coins either, but it's at the end of the day, it's still an ounce of silver. And I didn't pay a full premium on it. I didn't pay even all the whole price of an ounce of silver on it. I got it for like $38 or yeah, something like that. So it really was not a bad deal. If you can get an ounce of silver for less than spot, you guys are silly not to. Doesn't matter what it is. Whether it's a kangaroo, whether it's a Philharmonic and you don't like what it looks like, whether it's an ASE, just if you can get it under spot and it tests out, then you're good. But don't get stuck on eBay buying 5 ASEs for $25 a piece because that's a scam. Any true ounce is a good ounce, and Marsh, especially if you can get it at spot or less, or just over. Look, if it's like 50 cents over spot, buy it because we're talking long term, you guys. We're not talking you're buying it and then selling it next week and hoping that it jumps up 50 cents an ounce. That's not why we're stacking. We're stacking for long term. We're stacking for years out. If you're looking to put money into a vehicle that is going to hold its value for 5 months while you're waiting to do something, I don't know if I don't know if metals is the right way to go with that. I find silver under spot all the time, man, or Neil. I find silver under spot all the time. Yeah, see, you started at 12 an ounce, so your DCA is really low, and that's awesome. And when I see DCA, I mean dollar cost average, of course. But yeah, that's awesome that your DCA is so low. Sandy, how long have you been stacking? Are you still in chat, Sandy? Oh, you are in chat. How long have you been stacking, Sandy? 6 to 7 months. And you're doing good. Your specialized box that you have for your rounds is awesome. I think that's cool. You had a buddy make that for you. I think you said on your channel, on your video. Stacking to pay the aliens ransom. That's right, Daniel. That's exactly what we're doing. We're stacking to pay the aliens ransom, baby. If that's what I'm stacking for at the end of the day, then that's what I'm stacking for. But I'll tell you, it's going to be years out no matter what. Nice. Nice. And Sandy, I love the flat cap theme. So let me ask you, do you actually wear a flat cap? Or is that just a genius idea that you came up with? It's all fun and games until the probing starts. Damn right, Neil. Damn right. I tell you what. You feel naked without your flat cap? That's awesome, brother. That is awesome. I entered that Gibby for the flat cap, and man, I'll be honest with you, I was so upset that I did not win. But you know, that's how Gibbies go. But that's awesome, man. That is awesome. Oh, you don't have to, man. But if you did, that would be awesome. But no, you don't have to. That would be sick if you did, though. You work in a traditional hat maker's. Oh, dude. So, that's even sicker. So you can make your. Oh, dude. Do you design? Do you make your own flat caps out of your own materials that you choose and your own designs and color schemes and all that other shit? That's right, man. You guys make sure you're following Sandy as well. He puts up good content. It's awesome watching the pieces that he picks up. Sandy, I would say, what do you think, Sandy? Do you think you're more of a stack collector or more of a stacker? Because I've seen a lot of the pieces that you pick up. A flat cap is a hat that's flat and pushes forward in the front. Oh, I got you, buddy. I got you. So more military stuff. I get it. So the traditional UK police hats, you make those? Oh, so okay, I get it. So the rounds that you've been collecting are kind of a little more specialty rounds, is what I was kind of getting at. But you're getting them at a really good price, right? But now you're working on weight. That's cool. I always tell people to have a base stack. You know, have a base stack, and then if you want to go from there and start collecting something more specialty, then do it. If you got to mix it up every once in a while to keep the flavor, then do it. But get your medals for the cheapest price you can. That's any true stacker's goal. No way, that sucks, bro. That sucks. Oh, do you have to pay a VAT? 100 bucks. 100 UK though, right? So what does that equal out to? What's the conversion rate? Or are you talking 100 US? I'm stupid when it comes to that stuff, the conversion rates and all that other stuff. $100 though. What do you spend on your normal average round though, Sandy? Do you spend close to that already, or do you spend a lot less than that? So you spend 35 to 40 usually on a normal round, but you spend 100 on a Christmas round. It must be something special, super special, because that's 2.5 times what you would normally spend, almost 3 times in certain cases. But that just goes to show it. If you really, really want it, then that's definitely something that you're never going to get rid of, right? Because you want it. You know, at that point, you're never going to get your money back to an extent. I mean, to its fullest at that point. So you bought that because that's just something that you really, really want. 40 pounds yours is like $80 ours. Yeah, no, that's cool. Vintage bars are sick, bro. Pain is your friend. Yes, it lets you know you're still alive. That is correct. That is a lot. But you know what? If that's a round that he really wanted, I would have had to have it too. You know, there's just certain things. That's when you become, you know, have to have it. Do you have any gold, Sandy, or do you only have silver? Your first stacks are always going to be gen stacks. You mean generic stacks, right? And Marsh? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You build your base stack and then you can work from there. Sandy, you still with us? Do you have any gold? Or do you only have silver? There you are. Hey, have a good day, buddy. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you. I'll see you in your channel next time I see you. If I can pop on your live, I will. I'll see you later, buddy. Have a good day at work. Make some caps, bro. Such a smaller coin. I believe. Pretty sure. Yeah, 4.9's fine gold. Thing really doesn't have any numismatic value. It'd just be bullion. It does have some scratches on the face of it. That's why I got it for so cheap. You can find the deals, man. I'm telling you, you can find the deals. I'm not a slab fan, okay? I have a shit ton of slabs. I'm going to show you, but I'm not a slab fan. All of these I paid less than $20 for. I mean, literally. All of the slabs that I show, the only one that I paid a full premium on was this one. You can find the deals. You just have to look. They're there. You just got to be there when they pop. Because if you're not, you're going to miss it. Which happens all the time. Happens all the time. But when you're there and you get it, you get cool shit for really cheap. Like this. Yeah, $20 star note. Yeah, that's insane. But all these are pretty cheap. I like this one. I really do. It's a really nice coin. I'm not a big coin fan. I mean, this, at the end of the day, it's just an ounce of silver. But to a collector, this is worth 95 bucks, which to me is 2 ounces of silver. But the fact that I got them so low makes it so my DCA on all this stuff is insanely low. I wish I had one to bust it out with, bro. Most everything I have is but I'm not worried about these ones either. To make sure I'm getting legit shit. Yeah, you can test a slab. A Sigma will go right through it, and XRM will go right through it too. I'm like 98% positive. I've had my guy use his Sigma on it. Well, not Sigma, but his X-ray gun right to the side of the coin, and it tells me right there what it is. Fake slabs do look good. I'm sure they do. I have yet to come across one, but I'm sure they do. All the stuff that I get my stuff from is all a reputable source. All people that I trust. And every slab I get, I run the NGC on it as well, make sure that it matches. As long as there's a picture that matches with it and tells me the mint mark and mint date and mintage of it. I go to PCGS and NGC and Annex regularly when I'm looking up coins. Now the problem with Annex is there's no serial number to run, for instance, right? But they do have their logo on the back and it does say authentic when you're looking at it. And as long as the seal is good, then you're good. You can also use that yellow x-ray machine right on this one too. It goes right through the plastic and it reads you what the composition of the coin is. It is a pretty hike. Well, I do have some coins that I want to get graded. Like, I want to send this in and have it graded. I got it. It was an AU status, so I'm not sure what it would come back at. But I think it's better than what it was advertised for. I want to get this Eagle proof graded. I love this coin. First date of issue or first year of issue, 1986. It's got some toning going on the bottom. Like I've been saying, I know this thing's never left this felt case. So I want to get it graded. It's been in the capsule its whole life. Yeah, the I give the bison. It's just a good looking coin. The only reason I have it is because it's got 40% silver. I can't believe he said he wanted to drill a hole through him, but I mean, I get it. That's what they did on Pawn Stars when they brought in a big old block of silver wanting to sell it. What was that? You have 19 Buffalo nickels that have no date visible and one with dates. I have a bunch of buffaloes. I got some full dates. I've got some that don't have dates. You definitely have to check the gold, that's for sure. But that's where the XRM comes in. Tells you the composition of the metal. Tells you how much of what is in it. I've had gold flakes tested. I've had gold nuggets tested. I've had many pieces of gold tested in that guy's machine. I know that most of the placer gold I pull is anywhere between 16 to 18%, um, which is in most cases average to high. Most of the time they put like lead blocks in there. You'd think that copper would be a better fit because it doesn't melt as fast as silver. So you could put the first layer of silver down, then put a copper block in, and then put the silver around it, and it won't melt. I would imagine the Sigmas don't test on thick bars. That's why they would have to drill it like that. Yeah, no, that's cool. I would have replaced the coins after I swapped them out with better coins as well. So, like if I collected coins from somebody and they brought me in a silver dollar, I would put in a dollar of regular money. At the bank, somebody could bring in $500 in silver coins face value, knowing that it's 200 or $2,500 worth of silver. You still give them just face value. Yeah, replace them with other money and then they're yours. I feel you, brother. I'm gonna grab my another water bottle. I'll be right back, you guys. Be right there, you guys. Sorry about that. All right, I'm back. I get some water. The fish tank real quick. It takes 14 dimes to make an ounce. So, Nick, the cardinal rule with constitutional is if it's 90% constitutional, my next stream, well, so I'm going to be streaming Sunday, panning some pay dirt with my daughter. We'll be panning some gold pay dirt Sunday morning. That'll be my next stream. But I've kind of been hitting YouTube hard this week. I hit up 500 subs, and I just want to make my presence a little more known. You're welcome, Nick. But yeah, $1.40 face value is an ounce of silver. So most of the time when you go to an LCS, you'll buy $1 face. Most of the time it'll be anywhere between, right now anyways, anywhere between 28 to 32, depending on who you're talking to, right? So like my guy, he sells me 50-cent pieces at $12 a piece. So I can walk in, I can walk in and buy a Walker, a Benji, or a Kennedy. Any one of those three at $12 a piece, all day long. That's $24 face. It just depends on who you're dealing with. Like if you have a good LCS that you work with, if you can build a relationship, then you want to. I guarantee it. Any stacker will want to. It is worth it. Because listen, when you need to offload the stuff, who you gonna offload it to? Gives you the brother-in-law if he's gonna give one. I mean, at the end of the day, he doesn't have to. But if you build a relationship with someone, you have a much better chance at that. For him to pay you a little more for an ounce of silver opposed to, it depends. Depends on who it is and what they're buying. My LCS will buy anything from me. And listen, if he can only buy from 3 people a day, let's say that your LCS is limited and he can only buy from 3 people a day. Okay? Is he going to sell to 3 people he doesn't know? Or is he going to sell to the one guy he definitely knows and then 2 Joe Schmoes? I have more than one LCS. However, I have one primary one where most of my relationship has been built. I have his cell phone number. He has my cell phone number. So I've built a relationship with this guy. He will have them if I need them, yes. His brother-in-law runs another LCS or another rare coins company called Bellevue Rare Coins and Northgate Rare Coins. Both pretty reputable places in my area. So my guy will have the money that we need. He will also, and I've done this, he will trade silver for gold and gold for silver. And the ratio is decent. It is, or I wouldn't have done it. Yes. Yes. Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing we have it to base off of. And it's sad, But that's the only thing we have it to base off of. Is what 80 to 1, Nick? Daniel, who asked what first? What are we talking about? And question 2, would he still before contacting you, etc., etc., etc.? Silver to gold, would I do it at, what do you mean when I traded it? Did I do it at 80 to 1? Is that what you're asking? Okay, well, question 1 for Nick because it's faster. Nick, um, I traded a half ounce of gold to him for 50 ounces of silver. Well, 40, 48 and a half ounces of silver. That's why I said the ratio is pretty good. And buying metals. I walked into him first buying metals because he has a reputable location and I wanted to stop by and start building a relationship with him. Plus, his place is next to my mom's house. So I was visiting my mom and I was like, what the hell? Instead of driving by it again, I just drove in. He tests all the metals for you before you buy them, right there on the spot. So, and he, no, I traded gold for silver, and it was at 100 to 1 at the time when I did it. No, they will be selling their silver and buying and trading it for gold. Yes, that's why we sit on it for so long. Like if you guys look in history, the silver to gold ratio has been 7 to 1 traditionally for a long time, multiple times throughout years and um, eras. It's been 15 to 1. So if you think about it, if you think about it right now, okay, calling all stackers, if it was 15 to 1, what would you be doing right now? That's right. You'd be trading the gold to silver ratio. You'd be trading 15 ounces of silver for 1 ounces of gold. You'd be doing that all day long. You'd be and getting ounces of gold. And then planting my garden and going fishing. Flinging arrows. So that's what I would be doing. If it was 15 to 1, I mean even people's number, look, if it was 50 to 1, why not? Why not? At that ratio, silver is cheap to acquire. And silver still, if you think about it, silver right now is still cheap to acquire when you think about it, especially if it was supposed to be 15 to 1. If it was 15 to 1, what would an ounce of silver cost? About 225 bucks. No, more than that. You know what I'm saying though. It'd be an extreme amount. It'd be my math was way off on that, but it'd be really, really high, really, really high, like 612, so 36. Yeah, it'd be like $300 an ounce, maybe a little more. I've had to dip into my stack multiple times. And I'll be honest with you, if I didn't stack, I wouldn't have had the money because I saved like shit. I can't save to save my life. Really, I can't save money in a savings account. I max out my 401k because my company matches because I save that way too and make money doing it that way. So I max that out otherwise. And when I needed to dip into it, it was there for me. It was there for me. While you sell your silver to buy gold, that's the reason why we have silver. Is we're waiting for the ratio to drop to the point where it's best for us to sell, and then we buy gold with it. You sold a 100 ounce bar and bought a car last year. A 100 ounce bar of silver and bought a car. Okay, so last year, what time last year? Because spot changed a lot last year. But let's just say you probably got about $3,000 for it. I would imagine right around there. Yep, see, there it is. Before you even said it, you got 3,000. That's exactly what I thought it'd be. So you got about what? What was spot like 31 something? Yeah, yeah. I figured it'd be about a buck and a half at spot back. So that makes sense. I figured you walked out with about three because spot, like I said, changed quite a bit last year. But I mean, ultimately, it was anywhere between 29 and 33, something like that. But look, you guys do keep in mind anything I've told you that I would do is what I would do. It's not financial advice, none of that stuff. I don't do any of that. I don't give out financial advice. I just say what I would do because that's what works for me. So please don't go selling the farm and doing anything else like that because Humble told you to. Do what's right for you. That's all. Stack what you can where you can. You do you, Nick. You can grow your own and stockpile seeds, Greg, Nick, all right, and Marsh. I know how to farm. I grew up in Oregon. We had we had a garden and all kinds of stuff. I've raised hogs. I know how to raise chickens. I know how to ride horses and bulls. I know how to do all that shit, bro. I got my first axe when I was 7. I know how to chop wood. I know how to build a wood stove. I could build a structure if I needed to. I am self sufficient, my friend. I feel you on that. I know. I know. Age of 9 to 15 for 6 straight years. In the springtime, I'd go buy a hog. I would join 4-H. I would raise that hog and I would coach it. And at the end, in the county fair, I would show it and auction it off, take the proceeds, and buy my school clothes money with it. I grew up humble, bro. I have a very, very humble background, trust me. So when I show you the shit that I show you, it's taken a lot to get there, and it wasn't easy. And the fact that it was accomplished is a huge milestone for me. So I remember government cheese. I remember when food stamps were paper and the cashier would rip them out and stamp them with that loud ass stamp, and everybody knew that you were paying with food stamps. I remember that shit. Okay. So when I show you the shit that I show you, it's because it's been out of reach and always been out of reach in my own mind. And the fact that I got there, the fact that I have it, is amazing for me. Government cheese was great. So when I show you the gold and I show you all my silver and I talk about this stuff, it's just out of my own experience. And just things that I've done and how it affected me in whichever way it did. Dude, government cheese was awesome. You'd get a 5 pound brick. It was a 5 pound brick. It was huge. And it was good cheese. But you could only go get it once a month. What did Donna ask? Donna Judge said government cheese was great. No, it was harder than Velveeta. It was more like Tillamook, bro. And it wouldn't surprise me if it was because Tillamook cheese is in Oregon. Or like right there on the 101 and Washington border. It's like right in that area. Well, actually, a really good grilled cheese has like 5 or 6 different types of cheese in it. It probably has a little bit of smoked Gouda and some other stuff as well. Maybe a little Swiss. You got to mix it up. Grilled cheese should have more than just cheese. I mean, more than just 1 or 2 cheeses. It should have 3 or 4 at least. And I like fried cheese or grilled cheese as well. So when like the cheese is on the outside of the bread and it grills onto the bread, I love that. I love that flavor. I love the texture. And yes, smoked Gouda is always good on grilled cheese. So a little cheddar. I don't do American if I can avoid it. So a little cheddar, a little Colby Jack. So you got a little white in there. Okay. If you want to do pepper, you can do pepper jack. which would be fine, but I don't like heat like that with my grilled cheese. I do a little smoked Gouda. I do some mozzarella, or a Swiss, excuse me, not mozzarella, Swiss. And I do Parmesan. I add Parmesan on it as well. And I don't do grated, I do shredded. And I don't do tomato soup, Daniel, but I do put a tomato slice on the grilled cheese as well occasionally, which adds a whole different flavor to the grilled cheese sandwich itself. And what you do is you do half cheese on each side. You fry them at the same time, throw them together, put them and then melt them again, and then flip them and cook them and melt them again. I mean, honestly, it is the shit. Anything special. I don't need aroma tomato or anything else like that. Actually, I think aroma tomato would probably be too soft for it. That's why a slicer is so much better because it holds its form. And you don't put a super thin slice, you put a decent slice on there so you can actually taste the tomato. Well, the government cheese is cheddar, bro. But I'll be honest with you, if you can afford all those other cheeses, you shouldn't be eating government cheese. Yeah, I'm that guy. But if you can afford the other cheeses, you shouldn't be having government cheese. Is the point I'm getting at. Sourdough's a good bread. I would use. You can use multiple breads. I don't use white if I can avoid it because it's too soft. Every country in the world does not have soft white bread like we do. So the fact that we use it on everything is gross. Bazinga. I don't, but sourdough's not bad. I would probably use, I don't know. Sourdough's probably the last one that I did use for a grilled cheese. It does hold its form pretty good, but I prefer, like, when I buy bread for a grilled cheese, I go and I buy loaves that are sliced, big loaves that were cooked whole and sliced, not like regular sliced bread. Everything's bad. That's why you eat stuff in moderation. But I'm a fat guy. So we're talking about food. I'm talking about indulging in food. I'm fucking fat, dude. You know, I eat a lot. I can put it down. I prefer cold pizza. Actually, I've worked at a couple pizza joints. You know what you do at Pizza Hut? Because you know the ovens, they have a trap door halfway through that you can open up and put something in there, right? So, like halfway through. So, you do the cracker crust, okay? 1.5 cups of the cheese instead of just one. You do double pepperoni, all right? You run it through one time and then take it, put it through one more half time, and cook it one more time. Okay, the pepperoni is crisp and it adds that extra zest, that extra zing that pepperoni gets when it gets crisp on the ends. Adds that to it, and the cracker crust takes all that bread and all that other bullshit right out of it. Dude, It is the shit. Daniel, you hang in there, man. You hang in there. I know it does. And I'm sorry you're going through that. My thoughts are with you, man. My dad died of cancer a couple years ago. It only took 4 months from the time of diagnosis to death. So it's a rough road you're on, man. But you hang in there. Hopefully you caught it earlier than my dad caught his. But my prayers are with you, bro. Yeah, man. Radiation, right? Or is it just the chemo? I'm a survivor too, man. I feel ya. I know what it's like. You hang in there, man. You're a trooper. You fucking bust this shit. But what? Um, your fingernails are breaking. Yeah, cancer's a bitch, man. Yeah, so is it like, are you on chemo or are you trying radiation? I don't know where you're at. If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to say if you don't want to. I'm just curious. Yeah, that's the bitch one. My dad, but it's fightable. That's the cool thing about that one is if you caught it quick enough, it's fightable. So my dad's was bladder, and it worked to his back and started eating his back. And he was working all the way until the fact that we went to the hospital because he had back pain. They tested his back, said everything was fine, but then they looked at it and they saw a small lump on his back, and so they checked it out and found out you're at the monitoring stage. Okay, so you're either at the very beginning or the very end, right? Because you said monitoring stage, so you don't have a stage yet. That's good. So you're either at the beginning or the end. But you hang in there. You're here with us. You're here with us all the time, which means you're having good days. Oh, that's good. You hang in there, man. My thoughts are still with you. My prayers are still with you. And I know chat cares about you too because they've all said it. So you hang in there. You keep kicking its ass. We're with you, man. So Daniel, you served, right? Oh, I know. Yeah, I feel you, man. Okay. So, hey, are you going through the VA for your care? Or do you have like go in private care? Because the VA should have like top of the line stuff, you would think, right? Well, I appreciate you for your service, my friend. Thank you. Yeah. I know the VA would have been all free. I just didn't know if that's where you were going for your care or not. I mean, I would be running that route. Plus, they probably have top of the line shit too, especially for one of our soldiers. And there are quite a few things that our government doesn't do for our soldiers when they come back, but the fact that you get free health care is definitely a plus, and I think that it's definitely needed. Hey, dude, suck it up, bro. If that's the worst thing you got to do every year, then that's the worst thing you got to do every year, bro. That's nothing. Not trying to show tough love or anything, but I mean, look, like you could have to deal with way worse than that, man. I'm probably sure they have to cut you open, right? Or do they just take skin? Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I know you've had worse pain. I know you do. I wasn't trying to offend you, brother. I wasn't trying to offend you. I'm, I'm sure you do. You're a soldier. I know you do. I wasn't trying to sound like a drill sergeant or anything, man. I was just screwing. I was just talking, man. I wasn't trying to upset you. If I sounded raw, I wasn't trying to be. Oh, that sounds pretty shitty. Okay, good. No problem, Neil. I know. I know, no pun intended. You rock. Hanging out, chilling for a while. We got 16 likes, dude. That's sick. And 9 people in chat. Still, I've been on for what, almost 3.5 hours. Like, you guys are just chilling with Humble. It's sick. I think that's just badass. I appreciate all of you. Neil, you come by anytime, man. You're more than welcome. You know that. The very first time? Or the very first. What do you mean sample? You mean like biopsy sample? Silver's at 42.40. Who, me? Or Daniel? Because Daniel's a badass. That's right, Nick. Both of us. I appreciate you. You're cool to hang out with too. You and Donna. The cut made a loud noise, like a noise. Oh, yeah, I figured as much. Yeah. Made you jump too, huh? Painful and made you jump. That must have sucked, bro. I'm sorry to hear that. That's such not a big copper fan, but that is such a pretty copper round. Oh, he's talking about the biopsy they had to do. They should have warned you. Well, you know what? I probably wouldn't have either. You want to know why? Because you'd have been tense the whole time, expecting it to happen, and they wouldn't have been able to freely get what they needed to get without you without you being an asshole and making it hard, no pun intended. Not that you would be an asshole, but your asshole would be an asshole. But yeah, 11 people in chat, still 16 likes. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you for being here. Oh, but I'm going to be giving away some silver soon. Let me show you guys what I'm giving away. Just in case you haven't seen it. So I'm sure you have, but I'm going to show it to you again anyways. So when I give away silver in the 500 ounce or the 500 sub giveaway, this is what we're getting right here. Someone's getting one of these. Curtis is giving away an ounce silver. I've got a swag pack coming from AAA. I've got a quarter-gram bag of pay dirt coming from Creed. Donna, are you going to bed? Have a good night, Donna. This weighs 1.48 ounces of silver. one lucky recipient's going to get this bad boy. I made two of them, or had FG Stacker make two of them. This one's mine, and this one I'm giving away. So someone's getting one. And it comes with the box. Comes with a stand. Way to prop it up and put it in if you want. But it's pretty sick. FG does excellent work. So does Cartier Silver. So if you ever want anything poured, I would definitely talk to one of those two if you don't pour yourself or have somebody that pours for you. They both do excellent work. I have work done by both of them all the time. So I endorse both of them highly. This is one of FG's channel rounds. It's his Tree of Life. It's kind of his signature. It's pretty sick. It's made out of copper. Right? I love that thing. It's pretty awesome. And Cartier, he does a lot of work. You know, a lot of specialty work for me. Like this shovel. He makes bullets for me. He pretty much will pour anything I want him to. He poured this for me. He poured one of my humble stacker bars, but I ended up selling it to somebody. This one I designed with FG Stacker with the humble across the top and the stacker down the front. This is a honker. This thing weighs 2.5 ounces. That was my second bar. I had 2 bars made. This is my second one. And then this is my latest design. Gibby on shovel. Right. That shovel ain't going nowhere, bro. Not until I get more made. Cartier's getting ready to start pouring me more. But this thing is insanely nice. This isn't something that I'm just going to be giving up. I mean, this is what I sent him to make me a shovel with. And this is what he gave me. I'm going to send him a new shovel, though. This one. And have him make me one out of this. So I'll have a silver one of each. And if he does it like he did this one, I mean, it's going to look exactly like this, but silver. Well, they're supposed to shovel Patriot with them, and that's what I use them for. But those ones haven't been used for that. But he's like, hey, I was using it one time while I was doing some gold painting. I was using it and scooping it. And he goes, hey, Humble, do you want me to send you? Because I was using this one. One like this. Hey, Humble, I can make that in silver. And I'm like, what? And he goes, yeah, send it to me. I'll pour it in silver for you. I was like, all right. So I sent it to him. And that's what I got back. It's pretty sick. People on Whatnot always ask to buy it because they said they would eat their cereal with it. Dude, I would eat my cereal with that thing. But this weighs an ounce and a half of silver, and it's really heavy. This thing literally weighs nothing, but silver is much more dense than this one, tin or whatever it is. But he does good work. Most things are small enough to where you can put them in the tumbler and make them smooth. You know, like take the burrs off and polish it up. But the shovels are too long for it, so he had to do all that by hand. So he actually cleaned that all up by hand. Burr Live song, Silver and Gold from Christmas classic, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Remember that? I remember Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Christmas classic. I never had a silver spoon either, but now I have a silver shovel. I never thought I'd have a gold coin. Now I have multiple ones. I set a pretty aggressive stacking goal this year, and I reached it. So everything I've been doing last month has all just been free stuff. Yeah, the sterling silver serving. Okay, well that's 92.5% silver. That's more silver than a constitutional piece of silver. Want to trade? No. Nice offer though. Have to lick the pick. You send me an item, I weigh it, give you paper. Sure, sure. I got all kinds of paper I can give you. All kinds of paper. I'm looking at a big old pile of it right now. Cash paper. Oh, now you're getting specific. I don't know, Daniel. I don't know, man. No, now you're just becoming high maintenance. Gold leaf paper. Yeah, here. Here, let's give you some of these. Here, I'll give you three of these. This is silver paper. Good. trade? Uh, Tatanka. That's cool, Daniel. I gave away a Star Note silver certificate on Whatnot. Tatanka. That's right. I knew you'd get it. You think Donna would have gotten that? Am I still buffering? You could show off your collection. You just gotta. This is a number DC bar. This is the Harley Quinn. Number 268 of 300. And this here is the Joker. Number 185 of 500. So boyfriend and girlfriend. Which one? Both of them or just the one? The Joker one? Yeah, the Joker one's pretty sick. The Harley Quinn's pretty awesome too. They're high-end collector bars, ironically enough. What do you mean too rich for you? I paid $22 on this box. I won it on a game on Whatnot. I could have gotten gold on this one. These bars, they sell for $140 a piece on the eBay because they're collector bars. I didn't buy those for that. I paid $21 for that box. I won it on a game. Well, at those prices, for sure. The thing about it is the box is sealed, right? And there's a chance to win a gold coin in it. So there's a Dude, I hear you on the dab. So there's a chance to win a gold coin in there. I mean, I would take it. I watched a guy open up one of those boxes like that, but it was a baseball box. He got one rookie and he got a Shohei Ohtani number 1/50, and it was gold. That coin on eBay sells for $9,000. You don't dab, have colas as big as your arm. Dude, I'm sure. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Where you live, Daniel? Oh, you're in Northern Cali. That's right. Yeah, I live in Washington. Another green state. Buying from a dispensary in California was definitely different. Up here, it's a lot different. I grew up in Southern Oregon, Grants Pass, Medford area. You would take the Rogue Valley Highway west, and you'd run right into the redwood forest. I can't wait for this to finish doing what it's doing. You can see the greens and the blues and the reds. Trees. I love trees. My pocket's silver. So my dad always said when he was having his grow room, grows like a weed because that's what it is. You water it, give it sun, and it'll grow. It'll grow fast if you want it to. Yes. You don't even have to do that. You can give it water, it'll still do its thing. Just won't be as pungent and as fruitful. But if you give it some fertilizer, it'll definitely do its thing. My dad had a chemical blend thing that he used. He put it in the 50-gallon drum barrel outside. He had a drip system set up for the plants. Lights were on a timer. He used hortiwool. He had a start room, a grow room, and a finish room. The finish room um, was 12 on, 12 off. And then the grow room, of course, was, uh, I believe it was on most of the time through the growth stage. He was harvesting about 3.5 pounds every 6 weeks, from what he said. Not bad. Raised in Michigan. The Michigan or Mississippi? Yeah, MI should be Michigan, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. What are you fucking doing, Bob? What are you doing? Give me some attitude? I'm not down with that. Hmm? You got a problem? Hmm. I like the one design better. All right, Bob, you're gonna have to give me a second. Just chill. All right, you guys. We're approaching 4 hours. I gotta get some sleep. I work tomorrow. And I got the kids tomorrow. So I won't be on until Sunday when I'm panning for gold. Yeah, Bob is looking good, right? Just chilling. So I'll be panning for gold on Sunday. I might go live Sunday night. I'm not sure. I probably need to do a whatnot show. Maybe I'll come on afterwards. Who knows? But for now, I'm gonna split. I appreciate all you for being here, all 7 of you. You guys hanging out with me for 4 hours, just chilling and bullshitting. I had a blast. You guys come hang out anytime you want. Anytime I'm on. I appreciate all you guys. No, it has been fun. I appreciate you guys. I really do. Speed of light. Nice. All right, guys. I'm gonna hit the hay. I will see you later. Thanks for coming. No, you guys. Thank you. I'll see you again. Look for a post for the 500 sub Gibby. It'll be sometime probably towards the end of the month after I get everything all set up. But I appreciate all you guys. Later, guys.